Okay, hi guys. Reading, thank you. It looks like Pierre has posted this to the timeline. Yah's hearing it for the first time, so he said to record it. The removal of reincarnation throughout the history of the church. History records that the early Christian church believed in reincarnation and of the soul's journey back to oneness with God. This all changed by imperial decree some 500 plus years after the death of Christ. 325 AD, the failing Roman Empire, now under Constantine's rule, could not withstand the division caused by years of hard-fought, out-of-hand arguing over doctrinal differences. He saw it not only as a threat to Christianity, but as a threat to society as well. Therefore, at the Council of Nicaea, Constantine demanded that the Christians settle their internal disagreements and become Christ-like agents who could bring new life into a troubled, beaten-down empire. Once the Nicaea Council meeting was underway, Constantine demanded that the 300 bishops make a decision by majority vote defining who Jesus Christ is. Constantine commanded them to create a creed, doctrine, that all of Christianity would follow and obey, a doctrine that would be called the Nicene Creed. Upheld by the church and enforced by the emperor. The bishops voted to make the full deity of Christ the accepted position for the church. There were indeed references to reincarnation in the Old and New Testaments. In AD 325, the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great, along with his mother Helena, had deleted references to reincarnation contained in the New Testament. The Second Council of Constantinople, meeting in AD 553, confirmed this action and declared the concept of reincarnation a heresy. Emperor Justinian in 545 AD was able to apply the full power of Rome and his authority to stop the belief in reincarnation. He forced the ruling cardinals to draft a papal decree stating that anyone who believes that souls come from God and return to God will be punished by death. The actual decree send them back to God. The actual decree stated if anyone asserts the fabulous pre-existence of souls and shall assert the monstrous restoration which follows from it, let him be anathema, the anathemas against Origen. Attached to the decrees of the Fifth Ecumenical Council in AD 545 in Nicene and post-Nicene Fathers. The emperor was determined to eradicate the belief, even though the Pope and the Church believed in reincarnation. The fact that the doctrine of reincarnation has been a part of Christian theology for over 500 years did not sway the emperor. Origen's writings were considered heresy by important cardinals in the 6th century. Origen's teachings had been considered as profound spiritual wisdom for 3 centuries. Origen lived around 250 AD and wrote about the pre-existence of the soul and in reincarnation. He taught that the soul's very source was God, and that the soul was traveling back to the oneness with God via reincarnation. Emperor Justinian wanted Origen's writings and teachings to be condemned and destroyed, but Pope Vigilus refused to sign a papal decree condemning Origen's teachings on reincarnation as a result of his disobedience. The emperor had the Pope arrested and put into jail. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Hello! Oh. In 543, Justinian convoked the Fifth General Council of the Church and told the Pope he would sign whatever into doctrine, whatever the council decided. On the way there, under guard, the Pope escaped to avoid being forced to condemn Origen's writings. The emperor commanded the council to continue despite the Pope's refusal to attend. Pierre. He says, Amber left a comment, or Diana through Amber says, most excellent find. Pierre says, I thought I was pushing it a little on this one. Then again, I've done little else my entire life, so what's new, I guess. Glad to hear it's passed the inspection, or else I'd take it down, of course. No, Pierre, hello. What have we been saying over and over and over? It's what Jesus taught. The reincarnation of the soul. Only the reward of the reincarnated soul throughout all of history has been to be, to exist, to be in the temporal existence on the earth with God, whose desire from the beginning was to exist with his offspring on the earth. That's the reward, is to be with him on the earth, not back in the oneness of the non-existence where, you know, God is it and nothing else, is it? That's the reward here now, and that's one that they want to blow you out. And it's the end of times, because it's the end of the times, the time of the recycling of the soul. You've either made it or you haven't. And the reward is to be here on earth and to live out eternity, being who you are, along with God in his flesh body, Leonard Golightly Marshall, with whom it all began, from his thought.
Who is the comforter that teaches you all things.
That's right. And a quick hello. There he is this morning. There's the light behind him. It's streaming in, and the camera's faded. So keeping it short because my camera seems to be...
That's a focus problem.
Yes, I know, but we'll turn it off here. All right. Later.
Put your hand in front of it.
Well, it's gone. It's now back.
No.
All right, guys. So interesting find.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Pierre.
Pierre.
Thing I want to mention.
Oh.
You can pass this on out.
Right.
Because we've crossed over the Milky Way galaxy equatorial line into the place where we were all created from the mind of himself, God.
Yes.
The Coriolis effect is an indication now that it's all reversed. In other words, death is becoming eliminated. The further we go into it, the more we are. So,
And that is why the evil
repeat
ones.
that, they probably didn't hear me.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they did.
We'll do it.
Well, because we've crossed over, everything's reversed. So that rather than death being preeminent, it's the reverse. No longer will
It's
death
the
have its
Coriolis
hold.
effect. It's based, see, all nature is based on a cavitation type effect, which is the golden mean, or if you look at a lily from the top, you see how it spirals down. That is called cavitation. And we are going inwards as opposed to outwards. When we're in the southern side of the Milky Way galaxy, it was exploding. This is where the Big Bang idea comes from. But going back to the other side, it's imploding. Right?
And that's why all evil has to be taken out.
That's right.
Yeah, it cannot
can't exist.
exist. No. Okay, so it's all good for the good. So, good find, Pierre. Hello, Christians out there. The Nicodemus. I point over and over and over. How many times have I...
Look,
conversation.
Just look up the Essenes. If you, I think it's the 96
lectins.
lectins, L-E-C-T-O-N-S.
The Aramaic Gospels.
And then download it, and then search for Nicodemus. And that'll tell you the story of what the real speech of me to Nicodemus was all about.
Now, I have read it before. I've done a whole study on it. Joel, you might be able to refresh that, go into the archives, find them. It's when we were staying at Burley Heads, and I did that study. It was, I think it was 13 parts. Re-upload that, because that was all about the teaching of Nicodemus and other things, the errors that have been deliberate in the manipulation of the Bible to confuse everybody. Oh,
This one now.
the door has slammed shut. So good find, Pierre. Leave it up there.